first of all, congratulations to both of you for the White Tiger. In fact, Priyanka, I mean, firstly, beginning with you, it's been an incredible time. I mean, you've had Unfinished, you've had We Can Be Heroes, and now you have the White Tiger, as well as very other exciting projects coming up. So, in what way has will these projects kind of showcase a different side to Priyanka Chopra that we've never seen before? And has this been a sort of phase that you've always been looking towards as an international icon as well?
Big questions. But I think the way
4 minute hai.
all right, I'm gonna go quick. All right. When I started working in America, in working in Hindi movies, I've done such a such varied kinds of roles. I've had the ability to play so many different things. But when I came to America, I'm still starting. My career is just about 5 or 6 years old. I've done specific kind of things. So now I'm really looking at delving into having the same kind of variety that I had in my career back home. So the White Tiger is a step in that direction. And as you will see, the work that I'm doing going forward, I'm trying to find a varied kind of roles and varied kind of parts and genres. So this is the beginning of me looking for that, hopefully, going forward.
Hmm. Lovely, yes, and I think a lot of people have been messaging me saying, "Oh my God, उसने text for you rap कर दिया है, please उनके बारे में बताना कि मान and शीला का भी film देखनी है हमें सब कुछ मतलब आ गया." So I think it's very exciting to kind of hear that as well, Priyanka. I think everyone's looking forward. But I think Adarsh,
Thank
coming on
you.
to you, you've been in the industry for quite some time, and I've seen some of your work, and I think you're remarkable. I loved your performance in The White Tiger as well.
Thank
But
you.
as a fresh talent like yourself, I mean, how important is it to have the backing of someone like Ramin, and Netflix, and of course Priyanka as well, who's also the executive producer for this film. So how important is it for you to have that as a fresh talent, and especially a character like Balram as well?
I think it's incredibly important. I mean, to address all the parts, like it's very important to have a platform like Netflix because, and especially Netflix LA because now like it's releasing in 180 countries. So like people from all over the world can literally watch it as opposed to a theatrical release. Working with somebody like Ramin again is I mean, I've tasted blood with it, as I said. It's just crazy because the amount of creative freedom that he gives you as an actor, he just lets you fly with it and have your own personal interpretation of the character and gives you so much space to work with.
Right.
I think it was very, very powerful and beautiful. And of course, with Priyanka and with Raj, it was a huge, huge opportunity for me to work with two veteran actors who've been in the scene for such a long time. And just by
Mm-hmm.
being around them, of course, I've been a huge fan of them as performers, but being around them, I learned about them as human beings, and I just feel so humbled that I got to work with both of them because they're both such genuine and warm people, and I just have a newfound respect for the both of them as human beings, not just
Right.
actors.
Lovely. And on a final note as well, as the overall theme of the story revolves around ambitions and the extent one goes to in order to achieve that, describe a time when you've had to go out of your way to achieve a goal, and what are your goals for the near future as well? Priyanka, we'll start with you.
When you have to go out of your way, I mean, multiple times in my career, I'm always someone who goes after what I want, and this movie is an example for that. It didn't come to me; I went to it. I read about it on Twitter, and I called the producers, and I offered my services, and I said I would love to be an EP. I auditioned for it a couple of times with Ramin, and I said I want to be a part of this movie. And I think I was really looking for an immersive experience in Hollywood. I want to start doing, it takes time to build. And I think I've reached a place now where as an actor, I want to be able to build my portfolio in global entertainment. And I went after it. So this one is a huge example of actually being ambitious and going after something.
Sure. And Adarsh, what about you before we go?
Well, the couple of incidents that I can recall. One was, when I moved to Bombay in 2007, and my intention was purely to become a playback singer. And I was spotted at Kalagoda Festival and asked if I wanted to act. And I made that choice of wanting to act. And from there on, for the next 3 or 4 years, I would just go for auditions with my mom every Saturday or Sunday when I could have just played or hung around with my friends. I think that was a very brave choice that I made, and also my decision to quit classical music and get into Western music. So
Wow,
two
that's
things that,
incredible.
yeah, yeah.
That's incredible. Well, on that note, thank you very much, Priyanka and Adarsh, and wishing
Thank you.
you all the very best for the White Tiger and, of course, all forthcoming projects. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Anuj.
I knew then this was the master for me. I want to be a driver for your son.
Hey, I'm Ashok.
Hey, don't do that.
First of all, Ramin, I just wanted to say, life and India as a country kind of have changed and progressed significantly. I think since the White Tiger, the book got published, which was I think back in 2008. So how relevant do you think the film will be for today's day and age? And in what way did you kind of prepare yourself as a filmmaker by researching on the topics covered within the book itself?
I Arvind Adika's novel is it's brilliant. As someone adapting the script and trying to make the film, you're just trying to catch up to him and hope you don't mess it up. I think it can still be relevant in India and around the world because issues of wealth inequality and of oppression around the world seem to have only gotten worse since 2008. We're seeing that around the world globally. In terms of preparing, talked to Arvind on the phone a lot while writing the script, and then went to India for a couple of months and tried to visit all the locations by bus or by foot, traveling it as Balram would, doing your best to do that and to talk to as many drivers as I could find in the parking lot of Connaught Place or in the garages underneath these luxury towers in Gurgaon or Noida or other parts of Delhi, and trying to get a feel of the street as best you can. And Anuj, my crew is 99% Indian, so you're leaning on them to try to get the authenticity.
Right. I think, Ramin, as a filmmaker, you've always told stories and characters who are on the fringes of society and how they sort of strive for a better life and they kind of look up to that sort of utopian dream, so to speak. Was this a primary reason as well for you to direct The White Tiger?
Yeah, I think that, well, the primary reason was just, I got to say it again, Arvind's book, it's just so good. It jumps out of your hands when you read it.
Right.
And but I think there's a commonality in theme in some way in my movies and in Arvind's novels, because he's written 3 other brilliant novels that deal with underdogs, underclass, unseen characters in movies and books, and what is their journey, what are their struggles, and trying to do that in some type of an entertaining way for an audience. I think definitely that was one of the things that drew me to want to make the film.
Right. And I also think that the cast choice is quite interesting as well. I mean, not only does it sort of unite Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Rajkummar Rao for the first time, but it's also a breakthrough for, fresh talent like Adarsh Gourav, who is so exceptional. And he's done some phenomenal work as well prior to The White Tiger. So what drove you to choose the actors in particular?
Well, with Adarsh, who's so brilliant in the film, he had done a couple of smaller supporting roles. He had worked with Anurag Kashyap, you probably know, in the short film he did with Radhika. So he, at a certain point, I realized I wanted to cast an unknown or a lesser known actor from India, not from the West. And Adarsh just blew me away in the casting session run by Tess Joseph, the great casting director in India. He was just great at improvisation. He had a charming, winning smile that drew you in. But at the same time, when his smile went away, you got to watch your back because you didn't know what he was going to do. And he was just so
unpredictable.
Yeah. He was just amazing. And then Priyanka contacted us. She knew the novel. She loved the novel. She's producing socially relevant, meaningful films in India and in the West. And we did an audition. I just, her and I in a room. I filmed it on my phone while I was reading with her, and she blew me away. Yeah. It's rare for an actress of her stature to do an audition, but she was willing to do it for me, and I'm grateful to her. She blew it away. Her instincts are so good. She did this scene in a way that no other actress had done, and she nailed it. And Rajkummar the same. He and I did a little reading on my cell phone, and he's amazing because he's that kind of rare actor. And anywhere in the world that can do big, huge films, but also those beautiful character-driven films like Shahid and City Lights and Newton. And the three of them
Even
liked
Love
each other.
Sonia as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
absolutely.
And the three of them liked each other, and I think you can feel it in the
Mm.
movie that they got along.
Sure, absolutely. But I think it's very exciting as well, Ramin. I think to see a collaboration of this sort, and it's going to be out on Netflix now for everyone to see. So thank you very much, Ramin, and wishing you all the very best for the release of The White Tiger and future projects as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm just one who has woken up while the rest of you are still sleeping.